So, have you ever found yourself sitting there just kind of wishing your AI coding assistant didn't just passively wait to autocomplete your lines, but actually took some initiative? Just imagine an AI that actually plans a feature, writes the underlying code, opens up a web browser, tests it exactly like a real user would, and then reports back to you with absolute concrete proof that it works. Well, you know what? You really don't have to imagine it anymore. Welcome to this explainer on Google Antigravity. Over the course of this breakdown, we're going to take you from absolute zero to confidently understanding exactly how to use this revolutionary agent-first development platform.
Okay, let's dive into this. Antigravity completely defies the normal, let's be honest, often tedious pace of manual software development. The name itself is actually this clever nod to a classic browser physics experiment and that famous Python import antigravity Easter egg. It's essentially designed to lift the heavy burdens of coding right off your shoulders. Like the absolute joy of writing your own manual browser testing scripts from scratch, yeah, literally nobody misses that. Because unlike standard editors that just kind of offer inline suggestions, this is an agent-first platform. That means AI agents get direct access to your editor, your terminal, and your browser to handle the entire lifecycle of a task.
Here's our roadmap for today's training. We'll be looking at 1. Core concepts, 2. Setup basics, 3. A live step-by-step build, 4. Advanced workflows, and finally 5. Where it fits into the bigger picture.
Okay, starting off with Section 1, core concepts you must know.
Now, what's really interesting about this setup is how familiar it feels right out of the gate. If you've ever used a modern code editor, you're going to feel at home immediately, because Antigravity purposefully uses a familiar VS Code-like layout. This keeps the learning curve totally flat. But notice the clear separation of the two main working surfaces here. On the left, we have the editor view. This is your synchronous coding space. It's you and the AI working side by side with tab completions and inline commands, just like you're probably already used to. But on the right, that's where the magic really happens. That is the manager view, built for asynchronous orchestration. Here, you aren't just coding, you're managing multiple AI agents working independently across different workspaces and tasks, all at the exact same time. You literally become the director, not just the typist.
Of course, when you're directing all these independent agents, you absolutely need a way to trust what they're doing, right? And that brings us to artifacts. Think of artifacts as verifiable proof of an agent's work. Instead of forcing you to dig through thousands of lines of raw system logs just to figure out what the AI did, Antigravity actually generates plans, task lists, screenshots, and even full browser recordings. It's this crucial trust layer that lets you audit exactly what the agent accomplished, and more importantly, the reasoning behind its choices.
Looking at the broader core features, we really see it's all about agents taking high-level goals, like build a login page, and just figuring out the steps without your hand-holding. And a real game changer here is the browser subagent. It actually spins up a real Chrome instance, clicks buttons, fills out forms, takes screenshots to verify the app works, and incredibly, it can self-debug if it hits an error. Plus, for privacy-sensitive teams, Antigravity supports local-first operation. By integrating with tools like Ollama, you can run open-weight models locally, which means your proprietary code never, ever has to leave your machine. Absolutely crucial for enterprise work.
Moving right along to Section 2, quick setup and installation. Let's briefly look at how you get this public preview running on your local machine, because it is designed to be incredibly frictionless. The platform is currently a free public preview available across Windows, macOS, and Linux, and you can easily install it on Ubuntu via a few quick terminal commands. The first time you launch the app, the whole setup is just seamless. You simply choose your preferred editor theme, sign in with your Google account, and crucially, you actually get to pick your default AI model right at launch.
All right, Section 3, live example, step-by-step build.
So we've talked about the concepts. Let's move to our example and see how this builds out in a real-world scenario. Just imagine opening the manager view and typing a natural language prompt, something like build a simple to-do list app with add, delete, and complete functionality, then test it in the browser. Step 1 is that prompt. Step 2, the agent generates a detailed plan before touching a single line of code, which gives you a checkpoint to review. Step 3, the agent rapidly builds the code files. In Step 4, it spins up a real Chrome browser, clicking Add, Complete, and Delete, just like a human tester would. And finally, Step 5, it delivers the artifact report with screenshots and pass-fail verification. It is just a completely cinematic flow of automated development.
This quote right here perfectly encapsulates the power of this workflow. Notice I never wrote a line of code, I reviewed a plan, and I reviewed proof it worked. I mean, this is the ultimate show, don't tell capability. If the browser subagent tried to click a button during its test and that button failed, it utilizes a fix-it loop. It detects the failure, rewrites the code to fix the bug, and tests it again, all without you ever having to open dev tools yourself. No way, right? It's that good.
Next up, Section 4, Advanced Workflows.
Once you master that basic loop, you are totally ready to scale up your capabilities with Antigravity's highly robust toolsets. We're talking multi-agent orchestration, meaning you can literally have one agent building your backend while another simultaneously works on your front end. You can define custom instructions using skill.md files to enforce your team's specific coding conventions. And because it's a Google product, the Google Workspace integration is phenomenal. You could prompt Antigravity to, say, build a CRM that pulls lead data from my Google Sheet and sends follow-up reminders via Google Calendar, and the agent will automatically handle the authentication and wire the whole shebang together for you. It can even do this in the background on isolated branches, completely minimizing your context switching.
A massive part of this advanced workflow is model flexibility. Antigravity doesn't lock you into one AI brain. Notice how the model switching happens per task? You can use Google's own Gemini 3 Pro for complex, architecture-heavy planning. Then switch over to Claude Sonnet for generating highly nuanced code. And for tasks involving sensitive, proprietary data, you can seamlessly switch to an open-weight model like GPT-OS running locally. You get the exact right tool for the specific job at hand.
So the crucial point is this pro tip right here. For maximum efficiency, you can utilize the newly added Antigravity CLI 2.0. By driving the agent harness directly from your terminal, you can trigger headless, continuous integration-style workflows without ever even opening the desktop application. You just let the agents run quietly and efficiently in the background while you focus on other things.
And finally, Section 5, where Antigravity fits today.
Let's look at where Antigravity actually fits in today's rapidly evolving tech landscape. It is unequivocally best for teams that want high-level task delegation backed by verifiable proof of work rather than just simple code autocomplete. However, we do need to keep the cautions in mind. This is a public preview, and Google is running parallel experiments right now, like Jules and the Gemini CLI. Because these are overlapping projects, you should expect rapid version changes, evolving user interfaces, and occasional rough edges as they figure out exactly how these tools unify in the future.
What we've covered, the core concepts, the incredible manager view, the power of CLI 2.0, and those seamless Google Workspace integrations. The technology to have AI independently plan, execute, and verify tasks isn't science fiction anymore. It is here today. So I'll leave you with this question. How will you integrate agent-first development to let AI plan, build, and test your next major project? It really is time to rethink your workflow, download the preview, experiment with those custom skills, and step straight into the future of development.